According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way that a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyways, because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. These are the opening lines of the 2007 movie, Bee Movie. And I hope you like Bee Movie, because tonight, that's all I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be reading the entirety of the Bee Movie Wikipedia page. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn about bees. Here we go. Bee Movie is a 2007 American computer-animated comedy film produced by DreamWorks Animation and distributed by Paramount Pictures. Directed by Simon J. Smith and Steve Hickner, the film stars Jerry Seinfeld and Renee Zellweger, with Matthew Broderick, Patrick Warburton, John Goodman, and Chris Rock in supporting roles. Its story follows Barry B. Benson, Seinfeld, a honeybee who sues the human race for exploiting bees after learning from his florist friend Vanessa Zellweger that humans sell and consume honey. Bee Movie is the first motion picture script to be written by Seinfeld, who co-wrote the film with Spike Feresten, Barry Marder, and Andy Robin. The film was produced by Seinfeld, Christina Steinberg, and Cameron Stevning. The production was designed by Alex McDowell, and Christophe Lautrette was the art director. Nick Fletcher was the supervising editor, and music for the film was composed by Rupert Gregson Williams. The cast and crew include some veterans of Seinfeld's long-running NBC sitcom, Seinfeld, including writers/producers Feresten and Robin, and actors Warburton, Seinfeld character David Putty, Michael Richards, Seinfeld character Cosmo Kramer, and Larry Miller, who plays the title character on the Seinfeld episode, The Doorman. Coincidentally, NBC was host to the broadcast television premiere of the film on November 27, 2010, and both NBC and producer DreamWorks would be both acquired by Comcast soon after, NBC in 2011 and DWA in 2016. Bee Movie opened on November 2nd, 2007. Upon release, the film was met with mixed reviews, with primary criticism directed at the film's premise. While domestic box office performance failed to recoup its $150 million budget, it ultimately saw a worldwide box office performance of $287.6 million and domestic video sales of $92.7 million. Plot: a young honeybee named Barry B. Benson, Jerry Seinfeld, has recently graduated from college and is about to enter the hive's Honex Industries honey-making workforce alongside his best friend, Adam Flayman, Matthew Broderick. Barry is initially excited to join the workforce, but his courageous, nonconformist attitude emerges after discovering that his choice of job will never change once picked. Later, the two bees run into a group of pollen jocks, bees who collect pollen from flowers outside the hive. The jocks offer to take Barry outside the hive to a flower patch, and he accepts. While on his first pollen-gathering expedition in New York City, Barry gets lost in the rain and ends up on the balcony of a human florist named Vanessa, Renee Zellweger. Upon noticing Barry, Vanessa's boyfriend Ken, Patrick Warburton, attempts to squash him, but Vanessa gently catches and releases Barry outside the window, saving his life. Barry later returns to express his gratitude to Vanessa, breaking the sacred rule that bees are not supposed to communicate with humans. Barry and Vanessa develop a close bond, bordering on attraction, and spend time together frequently. Later, while Barry and Vanessa are walking through a grocery store, Barry is horrified to discover that the humans have been stealing and eating bees' honey for centuries. He decides to journey to Honey Farms, which supplies the grocery store with its honey. Furious at the poor treatment of the bees in the hive, including the use of bee smokers to subdue the colony, Barry decides to sue the human race to put an end to the exploitation of bees. Barry's mission attracts wide attention from bees and humans alike, and hundreds of people show up to watch the trial. Although Barry is up against tough defense attorney Leighton T. Montgomery, John Goodman, the trial's first day goes well. That evening, Barry is having dinner with Vanessa when Ken shows up. Vanessa leaves the room, and Ken expresses to Barry that he hates the pair spending time together. When Barry leaves to use the restroom, Ken ambushes Barry and attempts to kill him, only for Vanessa to intervene and break up with Ken. The next day at the trial, Montgomery unleashes an unrepentant character assassination against the bees, leading a deeply offended Adam to sting him. Montgomery immediately exaggerates the stinging to make himself appear the victim of an assault, while simultaneously denouncing Adam. Adam's actions jeopardize the bee's credibility and put his life in danger, though he manages to survive. While visiting Adam in the hospital, Barry notices two people smoking outside and is struck by inspiration. The next day, Barry wins the trial by exposing the jury to the cruel treatment bees are subjected to, particularly the smoker, and humans are banned from stealing honey from bees ever again. Having lost the trial, Montgomery cryptically warns Barry that a negative shift in the balance of nature is imminent. As it turns out, the sudden massive stockpile of honey has put every bee out of a job, including the vitally important pollen jocks. As a result, without anything to pollinate them, the world's flowers slowly begin to die out. Before long, the only flowers left with healthy pollen are those in a flower parade called the Tournament of Roses in Pasadena, California. Barry and Vanessa travel to the parade and steal a parade float, which they load onto a plane to be delivered to the bees so they can repollinate the world's flowers. When the plane's pilot and co-pilot are knocked unconscious, Vanessa is forced to land the plane with help from Barry and the bees from Barry's hive. Armed with the pollen of the last flowers, Barry and the pollen jocks manage to reverse the damage and save the world's flowers, restarting the bees' honey production. Humans and bees are seen working together, and certain brands of honey are now bee-approved. Barry becomes a member of the pollen jocks, hoping to pollinate the world's plants. Barry is also seen running a law firm inside Vanessa's flower shop titled Insects at Law, handling disputes between animals and humans. The film ends with Barry flying off to a flower patch with the pollen jocks. Voice cast: Jerry Seinfeld as Barry B. Benson, Renee Zellweger as Vanessa Bloom, Matthew Broderick as Adam Flayman, Patrick Warburton as Ken, John Goodman as Leighton T. Montgomery, Chris Rock as Mooseblood the Mosquito, Kathy Bates as Janet B. Benson, Barry Levinson as Martin B. Benson, Megan Mullally as Trudy, Hunnick's tour guide, Rip Torn as Lou Loduca and the Pollen Jocks General, Oprah Winfrey as Judge Bumbleton, Michael Richards as Bud Ditchwater, Larry King as B. Larry King, Larry Miller as Dean Buswell, Jim Cummings as title narrator and graduation announcer, David Moses Pimentel as Hector, Chuck Martin as Andy, Brian Hopkins as Sandy Shrimpkin and TSA agent, John DiMaggio as bailiff and janitor, Tress McNeil as Jeanette Chung, mother and cow, Simon J. Smith as truck driver and Chet, Ray Liotta as himself, Sting as himself, Robert Jane as B, uncredited, Carl Castle as himself, uncredited. Soundtrack. All music composed by Rupert Gregson Williams, except as noted. Released October 30th, 2007. Length 44 minutes and 56 seconds. Label Sony Classical. Track listing. 1. Graduation, 3 minutes and 13 seconds long. 2. Hunix, 2 minutes and 48 seconds long. 3. The Pollen Jocks, 1 minute and 32 seconds long. 4. Barry Flies Out, 5 minutes and 34 seconds long. 5. Vanessa Intervenes, 2 minutes and 1 second long. 6. Sugar Sugar by the Archies, 2 minutes and 46 seconds long. 7. Assault on Honey Farms, 2 minutes and 33 seconds long. 8. Ken, 2 minutes and 28 seconds long. 9. Barry Turns the Screws, 3 minutes and 12 seconds long. 10. Monty Slanders and Adam Stings, 2 minutes and 12 seconds long. 11. Hearts, Flowers, and Hive Closures, 2 minutes and 34 seconds long. 12. Honey Roundup, 1 minute and 38 seconds long. 13. Rooftop Consequences, 1 minute and 50 seconds long. 14. Land That Plane, 6 minutes and 39 seconds long. 15. Here Comes the Sun by Sheryl Crow, 2 minutes and 59 seconds long. And 16. Thinkin' Bee, an iTunes bonus track by Jerry Seinfeld and Matthew Broderick, 57 seconds long. Total length 44 minutes and 56 seconds. Marketing. Trailers. 2 teaser trailers were released for the film that feature Seinfeld dressed in a bee costume trying to shoot the film in live action. Eddie Izzard portrays the direction agent, and Steven Spielberg suggests to Seinfeld in the second trailer to just do it as a cartoon. Upon the release of the first trailer, it was announced that 3 of the live-action teasers would be released in total. In the second trailer, Steven Spielberg is taking a picture of himself and an assistant director, referencing the camera gag Ellen DeGeneres pulled on him during the 79th Academy Awards. After Seinfeld fails to do scenes in live action, Spielberg suggests to Seinfeld that the film can just be made as a cartoon. One of the crew members announces that the film is a cartoon, having the crew leave the stage studio. The trailer finally shows the movie as an animated CGI feature. Also in the second trailer, the bear that jumps out at Barry is Vincent the Bear from Over the Hedge, another DreamWorks Animation SKG movie. The third trailer was released with Shrek the Third, but this was an animated teaser. The fourth trailer was released on the B-Movie official website and revealed most of the film's plot. In addition, 2 weeks before the release, NBC aired 22 behind-the-scenes skits called B-Movie TV Juniors, all of which are staged and tongue-in-cheek in nature. The popular internet site Gaia Online featured a great deal of promotional material for the film. Books. 10 books were released for the film: B-Movie The Storybook, B-Movie The Honey Disaster, The Art of B-Movie, B-Movie Deluxe Sound Storybook, B-Movie Ultimate Sticker Book, B-Movie I Can Find It, B-Movie The Junior Novel, B-Movie What's the Buzz, B-Movie Mad Libs, and B-Movie B Meets Girl. Video game. A video game titled B-Movie Game was released on October 30th, 2007 for Microsoft Windows, Xbox 360, Wii, PlayStation 2, and Nintendo DS. Home media. B-Movie was released on DVD on March 11th, 2008 in both full-screen and widescreen formats, and a 2-disc special edition DVD. The single-disc extras include the Inside the Hive, the cast of B-Movie, and Tech of B-Movie featurettes. We got the B music video, Meet Barry B. Benson feature, and interactive games. The special edition DVD extras additionally include a filmmaker commentary, alternate endings, lost scenes with commentary, the live-action trailers, and Jerry's flight over Cannes. An HD DVD version was cancelled after the demise of HD DVD. Paramount released the movie on Blu-ray disc on May 20th, 2008. Reception. Critical reception. The film received a 50% approval rating on the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, based on 173 reviews with an average rating of 5.7 out of 10. The site's critical consensus reads, B-Movie has humorous moments, but its awkward premise and tame delivery render it mostly forgettable. Another review aggregator, Metacritic, which assigns a normalized rating out of 100 top reviews from mainstream critics, calculated a score of 54 based on 34 reviews. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B+ on an A+ to F scale. Kyle Smith of the New York Post gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, saying, after Shrek the Third's flatulence jokes, the return of that Seinfeldian wit brings animation up a level. Michael Phillips of the Chicago Tribune gave the film 2.5 stars out of 4, saying, it's on the easygoing level of Surf's Up, and a full tick up from, say, Over the Hedge or The Ant Bully. But given the Seinfeld pedigree, it's something of a disappointment. Peter Travers of Rolling Stone gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, saying, at its relaxed best, when it's about, well, nothing, the slyly comic B-movie is truly beguiling. Desson Thompson of the Washington Post said, B-Movie feels phoned in on every level. The images, usually computer animation's biggest draw, are disappointingly average, and as for the funny stuff, well, that's where you are supposed to come in. A.O. Scott of the New York Times gave the film 3.5 stars out of 4, saying, the most genuinely Apian aspect of B-Movie is that it spends a lot of its running time buzzing happily around, sniffing out fresh jokes wherever they may bloom. Claudia Puig gave the film 1.5 stars out of 4, saying, B-Movie is certainly not low budget, but it has all the staying power and creative value of a B-movie. The secret life of bees, as told by Seinfeld, is a bore with a capital B. Stephen Rea of the Philadelphia Inquirer gave the film 3 stars out of 4, saying, B-movie is not Shrek, and it is not Ratatouille either, by far the standout computer animated feature of the year. But it has enough buzzing wit and eye-popping animation to win over the kids, and probably more than a few parents, too. Richard Roeper gave the film a positive review, saying, "This is a beautifully animated, cleverly executed, warm, and funny adventure." Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film 2 out of 4 stars, saying, "All of this material, written by Seinfeld and writers associated with his television series, tries hard but never really takes off. We learn at the outset of the movie that bees theoretically cannot fly. Unfortunately, in the movie, that applies only to the screenplay. It is really, really, really hard to care much about a platonic romantic relationship between Renee Zellweger and a bee, although if anyone could pull it off, she could." Ty Burr of the Boston Globe gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, saying, "The vibe is loose-limbed and fluky, and the gags have an extra snap that's recognizably Seinfeldian. If I believed in a sitcom afterlife, I'd swear the whole thing was cooked up by Kramer and George's dad." Jack Matthews of the New York Daily News gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, saying, "Watching this pun-filled cartoon is like falling into a tray of children's watercolors, the warm end where oranges and yellows and ambers wave." Stephen Whitty of the Newark Star-Ledger gave the film 2.5 stars out of 4, saying, "The movie has some pretty pictures and a few good jokes, but not nearly enough, and the story suffers from sitcom attention deficit disorder, veering off in a new direction every half hour or so." David Botti of Newsweek said, "What I like about B-Movie is its comfy, off-the-cuff charm. Unlike a lot of animated family entertainment, it's not all thwack, smash, kaboom." Moira McDonald of the Seattle Times gave the film 2.5 stars out of 4, saying, "B-Movie doesn't touch the bar raised so high by Pixar, but it creates a little buzz of its own." Peter Howell of the Toronto Star gave the film 2.5 stars out of 4, saying, "B-Movie is a cute movie. Not that there's anything, well, you know the rest. But cute is not what adults expect from Jerry Seinfeld, although children will be delighted." Box office. The film opened in second place to American Gangster, but its gross of $38,021,044 had it more in line with the studio's lowest grossing features, such as Shark Tale. The film had an average of $9,679 from 3,928 theaters. In its second weekend, the film held well with a 33% drop to $25,565,462 and claiming the top spot, resulting in a $6,482 average from expanding to 3,944 theaters. Its widest release was 3,984 theaters, and closed on February 14, 2008, after 104 days of release, grossing $126,631,277 domestically, along with an additional $160,963,300 overseas, for a worldwide total of $287,594,577. Based on its domestic box office performance, the film failed to recoup its production budget of $150 million. Following the income from worldwide box office, home media, and pay television, the film ultimately turned a small profit for the studio. Awards and nominations. B-Movie was nominated for Best Animated Feature Film at the 65th Golden Globe Awards. Barry B. Benson was the presenter for Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film on the 80th Academy Awards for 2008. Beforehand, he showed the audience some of his prior roles, including every bee in the swarm in The Swarm. This is the list of awards it was nominated for. It won none of them. At the 35th Annie Awards, it was nominated for Annie Award for Best Animated Feature, Annie Award for Best Animated Production Artist, Michael Isaac, Annie Award for Best Music in an Animated Feature Production, Rupert Gregson Williams, Annie Award for Best Storyboarding in an Animated Feature Production, Athanasios Vakalis, Annie Award for Best Voice Acting in an Animated Feature Production, Patrick Warburton. At the Broadcast Film Critics Association Awards, it was nominated for Best Animated Feature. At the Golden Globe Awards, it was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Animated Feature Film. At the Golden Reel Awards, it was nominated for Best Sound Editing, SFX, Foley, Dialogue, and ADR for Feature Film Animation for Michael Silvers, Will Files, Luke Don Giamoda, J.J. George, Scott Gioteda, Kirsten Mate Comoglio, Robert Shoup, Shannon Mills, Steve Slanek, and Kevin Crahan. It was nominated at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards for Favorite Animated Movie and Favorite Voice from an Animated Movie, Jerry Seinfeld. At the Producers Guild of America, it was nominated for Animated Theatrical Motion Picture, Jerry Seinfeld and Christina Steinerg. And at the Young Artist Awards, it was nominated for Best Family Feature Film, Animation. Lawsuits. Babylon vs. DreamWorks. B-Movie is alleged to be similar to a concept developed in 2000 by a team of Swedish animation students, which they claim was presented to DreamWorks in 2001 under the name Babylon. The animation students say DreamWorks rejected the idea on the basis of it being too childish. When B-Movie was announced in 2003, the students claim they once again contacted DreamWorks to make sure the movie was not similar to their original concept, and was given a reassuring answer. When one of the members of the Babylon team saw a trailer of the movie in 2007, he found it to be extremely similar and attempted to find a U.S. lawyer who could represent them. Jerry Seinfeld rejected the plagiarism claims during his PR tour for B-Movie in Sweden. "I'm doing my best not to laugh, and I'm taking it as serious as I can, but it's a little hard. It is entirely possible that somebody else came up with an idea about making a movie about bees. I knew nothing of this until this very morning, and I hope they are not too upset." Beeceuticals vs. DreamWorks. A Florida-based cosmetics company called Beeceuticals filed a lawsuit over the use of their trademarked phrase, "give bees a chance." The suit between the parties was settled out of court. Internet popularity. Several years after the film's release, B-Movie had an unexpected rise in popularity as an internet meme. In 2015, posts of the entire film's screenplay spread across Facebook. In November 2016, YouTube user Avoid at All Costs uploaded a video where the entire film sped up every time the word bee was used. The video has gathered over 17 million views as of May 2017. The popularity of this video spawned several variants where the movie or trailer is edited in unusual ways. Vanity Fair would later characterize the film's late popularity as totally bizarre. There have been some attempts to explain the phenomenon. Jason Richards, whom Vanity Fair identified as one of the larger promoters of the meme via his @Seinfeld2000 Twitter handle, has noted the off-brand Pixar quality as a possible reason, while Barry Marder, one of the film's scriptwriters, identified that odd relationship between an insect and a human woman as the possible cause. Inverse, meanwhile, writes that the film's internet popularity was a reaction not just to the movie itself, but the realization among millennials that they'd been shown a truly odd movie as children and thought nothing of it. Writing for New York Magazine, Paris Martineau identified the meme as starting on Tumblr circa 2011, at which point users would, apparently in earnest, post the opening quotation, identifying it as inspiring. By December 2012, however, these posts became so ubiquitous that it would inspire parodies. It has also been suggested that the spread of such videos was inspired by the preceding popularity of the "We Are Number One" meme. Seinfeld himself has said that he has no interest to make a sequel to B-Movie in the wake of its online popularity. During a Reddit AMA in June 2016, a fan asked if a B-Movie 2 would happen. Seinfeld had this to say: "I considered it this spring for a solid 6 hours. There's a fantastic energy now for some reason, on the internet particularly. Tumblr people brought my attention to. I actually did consider it, but then I realized that it would make B-Movie 1 less iconic. But my kids want me to do it. A lot of people want me to do it. A lot of people that don't know what animation is want me to do it. If you have any idea what animation is, you'd never do it." Notes: in July 2014, the film's distribution rights were purchased by DreamWorks Animation from Paramount Pictures and transferred to 20th Century Fox before reverting to Universal Studios in 2018. And that concludes the Wikipedia page for B-Movie. I do hope you enjoyed it, because I certainly enjoyed reading it to you. But I'll see you next time, and I hope you have a good night. Sleep well.